Now let's start off with a proper introduction, shall we? My name is Jordan, but I go by Young Hippy. But to be quite honest with you, I'm trying to grow out of the young part, so you can call me Hip. You can follow me on Instagram at young_hippy, that's HYPPY, or at the Hippy Chronicles. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell does this guy do? Well, it's simple. I'm a podcast host, and I hate using this word, but I'm a social media influencer. I like to influence people to make the best decisions possible when making their purchases. Something that I've achieved most recently that I would say is a pretty big deal is I had a Grammy Award-winning artist on my podcast, and that was mind-blowing. My favorite place to elevate, I'd have to say, and this is so cliche, but the ocean, man. I specifically Oceanside Beach out there in Oceanside, California. I've had, and before you guys say anything, well, isn't that illegal? We actually had an encounter with the police on Oceanside while we were smoking, and the only thing the cop told us to do was move a little bit further away from the beach so we weren't distracting the people that were there to enjoy the beach. But other than that, Oceanside is my all-time favorite place to smoke cannabis, period, point blank. A question I actually do get asked a lot, so I'm not really surprised it was on this question, is like, or this question sheet I should say, is a positive change I'd like to see in the cannabis industry. And this one for me is easy. I'd like to see more people come together and be more positive towards one another, whether that be towards a brand, another cannabis influencer, or just another person you see at a lounge or at an event. I really just want to encourage people to treat others with kindness, man. This cannabis space can be a lot more safe, could be a lot more sacred, and have this plant do what it was meant to do, and that's bring us all together. I'm a dog dude. I hate cats because they stink. All right, well, maybe that's just maybe it's the owner's fault. But cats to me, maybe I just got a personal vendetta against the cat that stays in my house, because that mofo be meowing all day, all night, and it pees on my freaking shower carpet, and I'm tired of it. So just because of that, I love dogs. I feel like you can talk to a dog and they understand every word you're saying. And I love that. There's just something about a dog that makes me happy. Like, I want to pet every dog I see, even if it looks like a killer dog. I need to pet that dog. So at the end of the day, I do like cats, don't get me wrong, but I hate them at the same time. I love dogs. I love them. So when it comes to the breakfast, man, being a pastry chef, a lot of my friends would think I love sweet breakfast, but to be honest with you, my breakfast, I gotta have a mixture of sweet and savory. Like, I like to get, a nice stack of like either waffles or French toast. It really just depends on how the two are made. I'm not a big fan of pancakes because as soon as that syrup gets sucked into the pancake, it's like eating a wet sponge made of syrup. So I like to get that with the hash browns, eggs, and bacon, and just hit everything with syrup. If you're somebody like me, as crazy as this sounds, I'm that type of person that when I put my food on the plate, they can't be touching except for breakfast time. Breakfast, it is okay. And I highly suggest you try that if you don't. To be 1,000% honest with you, a lot of the artists I listened to back in the day, I still do listen to. I was real heavy into like Lil Wayne, and when Wiz came out, it was like instant transfer to Wiz. But there is an artist that I listened to faithfully in high school that I no longer listen to, and that's Gucci Mane. I wouldn't say his music is cringe, but some of it is like, I had no business listening to that stuff. Like, it wasn't me at all. But looking back at it, I mean, it did kind of like, I don't want to say made my high school career, but it was like the soundtrack of my high school career. You had a little bit of Gucci Mane playing to make you feel like you was a trap god, even though you didn't trap shit in high school. And then you had Lil Wayne on there just to make you feel untouchable. And then when Wiz came out, like, it was it. Like, I turned into the biggest pothead in high school. Like, that's another story for another day.
What was an artist that released something back in high school that the whole album was banging? There was no sleeper tracks. It was from start to finish. You would play that all the way through over and over again.
The Carter 2, the Carter 3, like I got a handful of them. Cushion orange juice was definitely a no skipper. Yeah, man, like that was kind of it. Like I was listening to the Carter 2, Lil Wayne, Carter 3, the Dedication, I believe Dedication 2 as well. Young Jeezy, Trap or Die 2, and I think Can't Ban the Snowman. I had those on repeat. But yeah, man, the music choice was pretty extensive. My playlist back then was crazy now that I think about it, dude. Like, it was crazy work. My general pet peeve would have to be people that cannot drive. And what I mean by that are people that just drive recklessly with other people in the car. Like, here I go. My biggest fear is dying in a car accident. So when you drive like shit, I get so irritated and mad. And like, it takes the littlest thing for me to think you drive like shit. So I really try not to drive with anybody. I know that like that's kind of weird, but that would have to be one of my biggest like general pet peeves, is just like people that just have no driving skills whatsoever. Now, if we're talking about industry pet peeves, I would have to say it's when bud tenders try to sell me on cannabis percentage, like total cannabinoid percentage. I don't care about that shit. Talk to me about the terpene percentage, right? Tell me how it made you feel. Tell me about your experience. I feel like when you're trying to sell me on total like cannabinoid percentage, it just feels like a salesman tactic, and I don't feel like that's what cannabis should be. So that's definitely a super big pet peeve of mine. Bud tenders, if you're watching this, just don't tell me what the percentage is. Allow me to ask you questions, right? And then like, let's go off of a flow like that. I'm not gonna think anything less of you if you don't come out swinging with information, because you're allowing me to like absorb my options. That's how I feel. And I feel like if bud tenders took that approach of like, you know, taking care of the patient, like although it is recreational, everybody is using this for, in my opinion, let me not say this like this is fact, but in my opinion, I feel like everybody uses this as some type of medical reason, whether it be, you know, mental, whether it be physical. Like, hey, I need to sleep, I need to eat, I need to be able to socialize, I need to be able to focus and get my job done. I got knee pain. Whatever the case may be, it relaxes me. I feel like there's a medical reason involved. So if you treat it as such, like how it used to be treated before it went recreational days, I mean, I miss those days. I feel like that would create a real pleasant experience. Now I know you probably got a lot of things to think about, but at the end of the day, delivering that experience is what I think the ultimate goal should be for you bud tenders. My biggest piece of advice to you is you have to take a chance on yourself. And let me tell you what I mean by that, okay? You might work a 9-to-5 job. You might bust your ass at that 9-to-5 job and still feel either A, underappreciated, underpaid, overlooked, whatever the case may be. You are bending over backwards to make another man rich. I'm not telling you to quit your job, but what I'm telling you is take everything you've learned on your day job and invest that into yourself as well. Find your niche, find what you're good at. It doesn't have to be content creation. It doesn't have to be social media related. So, like, social media is just a piece of marketing, right? So find what it is you love, what you're good at, and put time, put effort into that, and just make it happen for you. Take a chance on yourself, because at the end of the day, you're gonna find out that it wasn't a chance and it wasn't a risk, but it's something you should have been doing all along, right? Like, and have belief in yourself when you're doing it. If you don't believe in what you're doing, how can somebody else do it, right? You're gonna have haters, you're gonna have doubters, you're gonna have people that support you when they see you up and forget about you when you're down. That's fine, that comes with the territory. But if, as long as you stay true to yourself, you don't forget who you are, and you don't forget the mission, and you always do it with love and positive intent, the good always seems to find its way to you. You have to experience the bad in order to understand what good times feel like. If everything was sunshines and rainbows, I truly don't feel like there would be anything in life worth chasing, because we wouldn't experience what bad times are to want to get out of them, right? So just know that things are only temporary as you want them to be, and that I will always believe in you. If there's not a person in this world other than yourself that does not believe in you, I do. Give me a nice little follow at the Hippy Chronicles. You know, you got some questions, some tips, whatever the case may be, we're here. The DMs are open, and we love you.